Hi, Rosie. Hi, Kathy, Joan, and Beth. Beth Gordon, your name sounds familiar. Have you watched with me? How do I know you? If you are watching, please be sure and comment. I've got a great card to show you tonight, and I will be giving away one of my cards, and the winner could be you. If you would also click share, I would appreciate it very much. That helps me reach more people, and why not share our love of stamping and paper crafting with everybody. Happy Sunday, Pam. Welcome, Amelia, Pam, Nanette. Nanette, I think you're new. I don't recall your name. Where are you from? Ladies, if you want to comment where you're from, that's always fun to see who's watching from where. Lots of times we get people from all over the United States, sometimes even out of the country. Hi, Georgine. I'm doing the last little bit on my sample card. I decided I was going to fussy cut it out, the focal point. So I changed it up from my original plan. I thought I had time to get it all cut out, but I didn't. Hi, Sue. Nice to have you. Okay, ladies, thank you for joining me on this special edition Sunday night Facebook Live. I appreciate you being here. I know that everybody's busy and you're probably gearing up for the new week. And I hope it's a good one for everybody. Today, as I had discussed in my last Facebook Live and as I advertised, I am showing you how to make a buckle card, okay? And this is the inspiration for my buckle card. Hi, Vicki McDaniel. This was a team swap card that I received from Mary Lou DiStefano on our team, and she made hers with the Brightly Gleaming product suite. So she's got, she used the ornament punches, she used the stamp set, and she used the specialty designer series paper. Okay. And we call it a buckle for this element right here. That's why we call it the buckle card. Tonight I'm going to make one with you and show you or feature the Elfie, hashtag Elfie, stamp set, okay? And as I'm fussy cutting this, I hope I have this right, that there is not a die set to go with this. You know how that is. I don't mind fussy cutting a couple of cards, but this is not one I would do a lot of. And I just happen to think, you know, gee, I don't think there is a die set for this, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I have most of my little guy here cut out. But anyways, this is, I'll finish cutting him, but this is basically my buckle card I'm going to show you, okay? And it would open like this, pull the strap out, and there's the inside. So it's a nice way to feature designer series paper as well. I've used 3 different patterns from the Let It Snow specialty designer series paper. Okay, so let's get started with me showing you how to make this. First of all, you'll need a piece of cardstock for your base that measures 4 1/4 inches by 9 3/4. Okay, you're cutting off 1 1/4 inch. Okay, so 4 1/4 inches by 9 3/4, and you're going to score that at 5 1/2 inches. Okay. And of course you'll want to use your bone folder to make a nice crease. Okay. You're also going to need a matching piece of cardstock that measures 1 3/4 inches by 5 1/2. And I did change the dimensions of this part just to make it a little bit easier to fit the buckle in. Okay, so mine is 1 3/4 by 5 1/2 inches, and you're going to score that at 1 1/2 inches on the long side. Okay, again, use that bone folder to make a nice crease. Okay, you're going to need a piece that measures 1 1/2 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and this is going to be for the outside of your buckle. This will be the part that we insert into the hole we're going to punch. Okay. You need a piece of designer series paper for your base, and that will measure 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay. And it will fit on that small front flap of your card base. Okay. Next, I'm using another piece of designer series paper, but a different pattern from the set. This one measures 1 1/2 inches by 4 inches. By the way, if you have not used the Let It Snow stamp set, it's fabulous, and it's been wonderful to use with the Snowman Season stamp set and the Snow Builder punch. But I love the fun color combination, and I thought it would be perfect for using with the Elfie stamp set. Okay. Inside, oops, I did something wrong. I'm going a stepping ahead here. I don't want to put that piece in just yet. Okay. Before you do that, what I want you to do is get out your classic label punch. You're going to insert it this direction, okay, from the right side, and you can turn it this way. And you want to push it in all the way as far as you can get it until it stops. I'm going to slide it down, and I want the edge, the left edge of my punch, to be on the edge of that designer series paper. Okay. And you can see, I can still see the cardstock border, but I went all the way to the edge of the designer series paper. And because Stampin' Up! Gives us such fabulous punches, you'll be able to easily punch through both the designer series paper and the cardstock. Hi Patty, Karen, and Kathy. Hi Sandy and Sue. I'm so glad so many of you are on. Be sure and comment if you're watching, because you will have the opportunity to earn this, win this card that I'm making. And please also click share either right now and or when the live video ends. So now it's time for us to adhere this to our buckle card. Lay it out, lay this piece out flat, and then put adhesive on just that small flap of cardstocks. Karen, you're watching all the way from Florida. You must be on vacation. How fun. Obviously, retirement is treating you quite well. Pam, please do ask your question. Joan, thanks for sharing. I'm always happy to hear questions. Oh, Patty, a major snowstorm in Wyoming. Good time to watch my video and spend time in the craft room. Well, I hope you are safe and warm wherever you are, in your home or crafting with friends. Okay, so that's all you have to do. So the easiest way to adhere this is go ahead and insert that buckle, and then you're going to match up the fold of that buckle against the left edge of your card base. Okay, does that make sense? So this is what you have now. Pam, there's no particular reason why I put that buckle below the middle as opposed to right in the center. It's just a matter of personal preference. The person I learned this fun fold card from did it that way, but there's absolutely no reason at all why you can't put it in the middle. Okay, and this is the piece I'm going to be adhering. Now, I did think if I wanted to add a small message of some type, it could be put right here, or I could even put it on the buckle. Okay, so no, that's a very good question, Pam, but you can, we're creating, so please use your your creative liberties and do what is most appealing to you. And sometimes it could even be that whatever stamp or whatever you're putting on the front may dictate where you want that punched hole to be. Okay, but just be sure to punch your hole first and then insert that buckle piece and adhere that to match the fold with the right side of your card. Okay, great question. Okay, now I'm going to add two pieces to the inside. My real red cardstock measures 4 inches high by 3 5/8 inch across. 4 inches by 3 5/8. And I'm going to adhere that. Okay, and then I have this piece of Whisper White, and the Whisper White measures, let me think a second, 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/8 across. Okay, 3 1/4 inches by 3 3/8. And here I'm going to stamp a sentiment from the Elfie set. You can see there are a couple different ones here. Okay, I'm doing this one, may your Christmas be merry and full of delight, with a new year that's happy, healthy, and bright. Isn't that a fun message? Fun and positive and uplifting. Okay, and you'll want to let that dry a couple of seconds. And while I am letting that dry, I'm going to, if I can find my scissors, quickly finish fussy cutting this cute little elf. Okay, no, I don't own a scan and cut or anything like that, but I will be just fine cutting this out. And remember, this is handmade. This is handmade. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, what counts is that we're putting our time and our effort and our creativity and our heart into what we're making. Okay, another thing you could have done, or I could have done, instead of fussy cutting this, is just cut out a rectangular piece that would fit right on here. Okay, and stamp it and color the elf image, and then put that whole piece of white cardstock right on here, okay? There's certainly nothing wrong with doing that. In fact, here's another one, and that was my original plan. I would cut this down a little bit, but it covers up a lot of my fun designer series paper, so I decided to do it this way, okay? But again, it's your personal preference. And I know there's people out there that do not like fussy cutting, and I completely understand. I do not judge. We each have to do what we are comfortable with. Okay. And I am going to make one more, and I'm going to show you something a little bit different about how you can use this stamp set with no dies and with no fussy cutting. I should say with no coordinating elf dies. Put it that way. But I think you're going to like the result of that one. Okay. So this is my fun little guy here. I think he looks pretty cute. I didn't cut his little, what do you call these? His little elf shoes out. By the way, I indulged when I was at the grocery store the other night. Remember the Elfin cookies? Or I think Keebler elf cookies, something like that. They've got chocolate filled. Oh, they were good, but they were on sale, and I guess I was hungry when I was shopping and I bought them. But they're so cute because each one is a different little Keebler elf, and they even have their names on them. I thought that was so funny. And I just thought, oh, that would be a fun thing to give to little children or you know, your grandchildren, or if you have little ones at home, that sort of thing. But I had not had a Keebler elf cookie in forever, and I just thought that was kind of fun. Okay, I'm going to pop this guy up with some dimensionals just because, you know, that's what I love to do. Okay, it's interesting that the something as simple as a $4 pack of dimensionals can really make such a big impact, a big difference on your cards, but they do. And they go a long, 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 long way. I just used up a sheet a little while ago, making some other things this afternoon, and I had used up all the little hexagon pieces, and I actually just, so I had the border around, and I actually just snip, 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 snip all the way around, and I got that many more. Pam, now I'm like, oh, I guess I'm a bad influence. Okay, so there's that cute buckle card. Now, as I said, if you want to add another sentiment, I'm going to put this in the inside because I'm sure that ink is now dry. By the way, instead of adhering all the way down, I could have put glue on the top, the right side, and the bottom, and left this to be a pocket to insert a gift card. Okay? Remember, it's always very easy to turn any card into a gift card holder with a simple little pocket. Okay. I like this. Where did he go? I've got a happy hello here. I didn't get all my stickers put on. And here's a just for you. That one doesn't have its sticker on yet. So which one shall I use? I kind of like the little happy hello. So I'm going to go with that one. And you know when you cut the inserts, 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches of Whisper White or Very Vanilla, you get 4 on a sheet of cardstock. You always end up with these little strips. And I save these little strips because, number one, they're great for using with our classic label punch. I think this stamp is just a wee bit big, but we can try it. But if not, if it's too big, I'll show you another way I can use the strip just as is. In fact, I'll just go ahead and do two so I can show you. Okay. I think with the size of the A, it may not fit, but we'll give it a try. Hi, Tammy. Ladies, I'm glad you like it. I always love to see hearts and thumbs up too, but thank you for your comments. Every comment tonight will be entered into a drawing. So for example, if we have, right now it looks like we have 18 people watching. Instead of 18 people, every time you comment, I will put your name into the hat for a drawing of this card, okay? So if you comment 3 times, you'll be entered 3 times, okay? Hi, Amy. Okay, so that looks pretty good, okay? The other thing you can do if you're in a hurry, you don't have the classic label punch, but if you don't, I would put it on your wish list because this is one of the most popular and one that I use most often in my stamping. You can also do something like this and just cut an angle. And if you want to make sure you have the same angle on the other side, you just take that piece you cut off and line it up and just let your scissors blade go right alongside that. Okay, so here's another way. So I could do something like this, okay, and I can also do something like that. I might decide to put it up here, okay. Also, if I had stamped just for you, I might have wanted to punch that out of a circle, okay, and put it there. In fact, should we do it? Let's just do it so you can see what that looks like too. I believe that will fit in my 1-inch circle punch. And the only reason this stamp does not have the cling label on it is I just didn't get to it. Okay. I'm going to do this. Perfect. I'm going to punch it with the 1-inch circle punch. And then I'm going to grab a scrap of real red and I'm going to punch out the 1 1/8 inch scallop circle. Okay. Put a little adhesive on, layer these two together, and then I'm all ready to add this. Where do you think it should be added? On the buckle or up high? You tell me. First person to respond, I'll put it where you say so. Oh yes, are you talking about, oh, I can't think of the name of it. Similar to this size, but it had the rounded ends. The word window punch on the buckle. Okay. Joan Horner, you said it first, but you've got 2 people backing you up. Amelia's backing you up. Oh, okay. Yes, and it's a good way to change up your card a bit. Okay. So how about right there? So there is our finished buckle card. Okay. Cute, huh? Okay, let's make one more. I'm basically using the same products, but I'm going to change it up a little bit with the colors and the patterns, okay? So, by the way, these are and you can use any colors. I used, I don't know why, I guess because Coastal Cabana we don't have a Stampin' blend for. So I just substituted with my Stampin' Write marker. So what I did was just pulled some of the colors I thought would be fun to use to color my elf, and I think he turned out well. Oh, one thing I did want to mention to you, I hope you can see this on his little face and his ears, and I didn't do his hands because they're so teeny tiny. That's hard. I can't really get it. But what I did was just used a sponge dauber and very lightly tapped it into the petal pink ink pad and just dabbed a little on his face and ears to give him a little color. Okay? Easy and simple. Okay, so I've got my 4 1/4 by 9 3/4 inch of real red for my card base. I've got a 4x4 piece of 4x4 piece of designer series paper, again from the Let It Snow designer series paper pack. And I want to cut out, and you know what, let me try something here. Okay, I think this time I'm just going to, I think that was Pam, were you the person that asked the question about why I didn't just punch in the center? Let's just go ahead and punch in the center. Doesn't hurt for us to change it up a bit. Okay, I've got a 5 1/2 inch by 1 3/4 inch piece of real red cardstock. Yes, Lisa Johnson, this does fit in our standard Stampin' Up! Envelopes. Okay, the finished card still measures 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 inches. Alrighty. Okay, on this I need to score at 1 1/2 inches on this buckle piece. Okay, and I have to look and make sure I have this right. Okay, this is what I chose to decorate the front of that buckle piece. Okay, so now I'm going to put adhesive on that small front flap. Okay, it probably does look longer on the screen, but remember we scored at 5 1/2. Make sure I scored it correctly. Yes, it does look longer on the screen, you're right, Lisa, but it is scored at 5 1/2. So this piece measures 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So it is the same size. Okay, so now I'm just going to stick that in, and now I want to put the fold of the buckle strip against the right edge, that right side of my card base. Okay, while making sure this is kind of centered in that punched hole. Okay. So this is what I have. Now I'm going to add some other designer series paper. Whoops, that ran out. Right here to cover up that flap piece. Okay. I have a 4 inch by 3 5/8 inch piece of Coastal Cabana cardstock. Okay, it's so much fun to use so many different use so many different patterns of paper from the same paper pack, okay? We can make the same card over and over, but change out some of the papers, some of the patterns, and get a different look. And it keeps it more interesting for us, okay? Now this time, instead of doing white on the inside, I used Pool Party. Hi, Jan Moore. It's been a very long time. I'm glad you joined us tonight. Okay, and there you have it. Okay, there is another cute little Stampin here. Again, I did not put a label on this, but I will. Just haven't used this one yet. And I'm going to pull out the Coastal Cabana ink. This is a little stamp with snowflakes. So I thought it would be cute to add some snowflakes around our sentiment inside here. Okay, nope, it's got a little edge, darn it. Okay, just adds a little more interest to the inside. Okay, so now we have this part. We're almost finished. And I said I would show you something a little bit different. Okay, and I've already stamped this fun guy. And let's give him a little color. First of all, I'm going to do his face and ears, and just with a little bit, a light touch with the sponge dauber that I used in the Petal Pink ink. Okay, kind of gives it that skin tone. I went a little heavy there, but that's okay. That's okay. And we'll give him some nice brown hair. This is crumb cake, light crumb cake, and I can go back in with the dark crumb cake, Stampin' Blends marker. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to make this red, the stocking red, and Coastal Cabana, and Pool Party. Okay. Oops, I'll leave these open. So many choices of colors. And of course, no matter what paper you decide to use or what colors you decide to use, your elf is going to look darling, and it's going to make somebody smile. Amelia, you're interested in ordering that? Yes. You know, I really wasn't going to order it, and the more I looked at it, I thought, oh, why not? You know, do you ever do that? Story of my life. But that's the great thing about being a demonstrator. A lot of the stamp sets I get, well, all of them, I at the very least get a discount on them. You start at a 20% discount, and then you can work your way up and get a 25% discount. That's my standard discount, and then I'm able to earn incentives on top of that as well, which is very nice. You can always, based on sales or what my team is doing, I have the opportunity to earn even more than that. And I even am able to get products free many times because I hold classes and different things, have people ordering online, and I'm able to get Stampin' rewards. So that helps out too, because the more I can acquire, the more I have to show. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention too, let me close these up because alcohol markers will dry up. Alcohol dries very, very quickly. Okay, so do not leave your markers open. Ink pads, it doesn't matter. Okay. All right. If you have Wink Stella, which again, I feel like this is a must-have, almost like one of my staples in here. Add some Wink of Stella to the white part of the hat and the shirt. Okay, and it looks a little bit like fur. I've also added it to the jingle bell and the buttons. And I'm going to do the same on here. Okay. Add just a bit of Wink of Stella, just to add a little bit of shimmer. Okay. Also, Stampin' blends do bleed through. They don't necessarily go onto the paper behind it, but you wouldn't want to have this, like if you're doing a white card base, you wouldn't want to stamp and color directly on that white card base with your Stampin' blends, because when you open the card, you would see it. So always be prepared to back your images that you colored with Stampin' blends. Okay, so I'm backing this one on the Real Red. I think he looks cute, doesn't he? Okay, and I'm going to, you guessed it, pop this up with some dimensionals. I've just got the minis laying out beside me, so I'm gonna put a little more than I usually would on, since if I was using the standard size, the usual size of dimensionals, I'd probably just put maybe 4 on, 3 or 4. But this is a fairly big piece for the minis. And of course, if you only have the larger size, of the regular size of dimensionals, you can always cut them down to put on the smaller pieces, like the classic label punch. Okay, now this, I'm going to go ahead and let that overlap that punched hole that for the buckle. Okay, and it looks perfectly fine. And this way you've got a fun image. You don't have to fussy cut. There's no dies, punches involved. Oh, Pam, I wish we had metallic markers too to match the foil. What an awesome idea. And you can always call that into that request into Stampin' Up, or even send them an email saying you have an interest in that. Okay, they love to hear from demonstrators. They also love to hear those things from customers as well. Okay, they don't always know what we want and need unless we tell them. That doesn't mean it'll happen, but it means they will direct your request to the right department, and they will take a look at that. And of course, I'm sure they note it if several people are all asking for the same things. Okay. And I think I'm going to put that right there. Okay, cute, isn't it? Okay, I love these. What do you think? I love them. Okay, and again, real easy to turn this buckle card into a gift card holder just by making this DSP a pocket. Okay, you would just put adhesive at the top, the right, and the bottom. Okay. I love him peeking out of the stocking too. You know, there is, what time is it? 7:45. That's not bad. Have you ever heard of paper piecing? Paper piecing. Okay. Let me show you what that is. Okay. And I'm just going to do it with the hat, I think. I'm going to color the hat just like I did on this one. Remember, when you're using that paintbrush tip, you're just using the tip. You don't want to press hard, and rather than color back and forth like regular markers or color pencils or crayons, use brush strokes, okay? And we're going to do this, and I'm going to show you what I mean by paper piecing. Okay. I can add some Wink of Stella to this as well. Wink of Stella is just a very subtle layer of shimmer. I would not call it glitter. It's not glitter. Oh, neat, Patty. You used Over the Moon and Mary Moose. I would love to see a picture of those. I'd love it if you would share it to this group page. Hi, Sandy Benson. It's been a long time, but I'm glad you're here. Okay. So you're just going to make a second stamp, color it, or do whatever you did to your first one. Okay. And, oh, this is tricky, cutting out this little bell. I realized I was out of the screen, so I'm trying to get back under here in the screen. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to cut out these little, no, you can't go wrong with Wink of Stella, absolutely not. And I'm going to cut out these, the toe and the heel from the stocking as well. Teeny tiny little pieces. And this is super easy and super fun to do the paper piecing. It takes a few extra minutes, but wait till you see the result. Okay, just adds a different layer of fun. Okay, now a couple of these pieces, the heel and toe, are very small. So I'm going to actually even cut the mini dimensionals in half for them. You could also use glue dots, but the dimensionals make a much bigger impact on the paper piecing. Let me get it just right. Okay, and you just put that over the original. This one's super tiny. Usually when I do paper piecing, I'm not doing pieces quite so tiny. But that's all right. We're going to make this work, and it's going to be darling. And then finally, I have this hat to do. Isn't this little guy cute? I love elves. Although I have to say, I'm very happy that I was never an elf with the elf on the shelf mom. Oh, that would have been way too much pressure for me to remember to move that thing around every night, and I don't know how those parents do it. But obviously they have fun. And then I just put his, whoops. Guess it would help if I pull off the back of those, right? Okay. And there's our sweet little elf with a little paper piecing. Can you see that? Okay. Very, very cute. Okay. Very, very cute. Don't forget to be entered into a drawing. I'd love for you to, or I need for you to write a comment. Tell me what you think of the cards. Anything at all. Okay. And you will be entered into the drawing. I'm very excited because I've been working so hard the last couple of days on catching up with all my mailings. I've got gifts that went out to people who placed orders online, some free cards. I've got gifts that went out to some team members and people who won Facebook Lives. Facebook Live drawings, and I am nearly caught up. Unfortunately, I ran out of the mailing envelopes, so I'll have to get those hopefully tomorrow between my visiting angel clients. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight's demonstration of the buckle card, and I hope you also have enjoyed seeing the stamp set #Elfie in use. I'm very grateful for your support, and I'm very grateful for your business. If you will be placing an order in the near future, I'd love it if you would place your order with me, and you can do so online at maryknabe.stampinup.net, and please do use my October host code. Okay. My next Facebook Live will be on Tuesday on my business page, Stamp and Scrap with Mary Knabe, okay? And I would love for you to join me. The new time for Tuesday Facebook Lives will be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope to see you there. Make it a great week, and let's be kind to one another. Let's build each other up, okay? This is so very important. I'm not going to go into anything more. I know some of you saw a post on my profile just saying, you know, let's just build each other up. Let's not be putting each other down. There's no reason for it. And it's time we quit blaming what's going on in our world and our society on other people, on politics, whatever. Let's start with us. Let's just be kind. Let's stay positive. Let's build each other up. Have a great week. Thanks for joining me.